Thank you very much, Mahesh, for joining us and talking to us about cricket. First and foremost, how much have you enjoyed the Cricket World Cup so far?
Well, it's been super exciting. Obviously, India on top of the table, 2 matches to go. So, we're all keeping our fingers crossed that this incredible form that the entire team has shown continues for another week.
Mahesh, as a former world number one, I'm very keen to know from you how different an approach would this Indian cricket team need to have in a knockout game. Everybody is talking about how this could be a banana peel. The semi-final against New Zealand could be a banana peel. So, your own experience of playing League Cum knockout tournaments, can you just share from your experience on what kind of a mindset does this Indian team need to have now?
So I don't think anything changes, to be honest. When you're playing sport at the highest level, right? I think every match counts, and I think that was pretty obvious. In the Netherlands match, there was a lot of talk about resting players and keeping them fresh for the semi-final. But obviously, everybody has incredibly found their own zone and peaked at the right time at the World Cup. So the team went in full strength, and it's a dream situation to be in. I mean, let's be honest. World Cup semi-final, there is going to be pressure, but I think the pressure that the Indians feel will be lifted very, very soon once the match starts. 50, 75,000 people singing the national anthem with you, chanting your name. I mean, that gives you goosebumps. That lifts your game to different levels where you're not kind of used to it being. So, in my opinion, someone's going to have multiple Glenn Maxwell type innings to kind of rock this boat.
Mahesh, when you look back at your own career, have you ever faced this kind of a pressure where there is so much talk? The pressure is from outside. It's probably not from within, but all the conversation around how the semi-final is a different ball game altogether. It's not a league match anymore. Have you faced similar pressures, and how did you then deal with that?
See, honestly, we've done it in the Masters, in the year-end Masters. I've probably played it, 12, 15 times, and there is a round robin, and then once you get to the semi-final, it's a knockout. But honestly, from an athlete's perspective, you don't think of it like that. When you're playing your round robin matches, it might be there in the back of your mind that you have more opportunities, but, you're thinking about, the game difference, the run rate difference. So you always want to win, right? I mean, these guys are now, like I said, playing at the highest level. So regardless of who they're playing, they want to win. And luckily, like I said, you don't get a situation like this with the Indian cricket team where you've got literally everyone firing on all cylinders. We always talk about our batting lineup, but the bowling unit, our Panch Pandav, have been really outdoing themselves. So like I said, it's an incredible situation for Team India where everyone's put their hand up at some time and they're all feeling like they're at their peak.
Super. Just one more question before I let you go, Mahesh. Just talk about pressure again. This team seems to have handled it really well. It doesn't seem to bother it very much because it knows it has to play on at optimum levels. And some months ago, this team looked very different to all of us. I mean, they were losing games that they should have routinely won, but suddenly they seem to have found a peak. Now, is it possible for teams to sustain that kind of performance? 9 on 9, incredible. Not very many people would have thought that this Indian team would win 9 on 9. I have been saying 11 on 11 from day one. But is it actually possible to retain the energy and maybe draw from the crowd? You guys have done it in the past so often.
Yeah, I was a bit skeptical as well. I mean, Argentina, lost to Saudi Arabia before they won the World Cup in the soccer. So, it would have been nice, honestly, not necessarily for them to take a loss, but nice for them to have a close, tight match. In the last few weeks, they haven't been pushed, regardless of who they've played. They're literally decimating opponents. But I think more than feeding off the crowd, these guys are feeding off each other, right? I mean, if Rohit goes early, he's got Virat. If Virat goes early, they've got Shreyas, and now Rahul, Surya. I mean, and then, regardless of what score they put on, they've got the 5 bowlers who are backing them up incredibly. So I think they're feeding off each other. The crowd is the cherry on top. And, yeah, like I said, fingers crossed for another good week.
Thank you so much for your time, Mahesh. Means a lot to me. Thank
Thanks,
you.
man.